Hi, this is Hell Hades. It's going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we're going to do an account takeover on the Diamant. Looking for some support on the Clanboss. So generally doing around 27 million on Nightmare Clanboss and hit a personal best of 16 million on Ultra Nightmare Clanboss. So basically wants to get to a place where you can free key Ultra Nightmare. So quite a challenge there. We need to move it up by about 9 million, so that's about another 60-70%. Lots of extra damage there. And it's also on the mission run, so basically just got spiders to sort out before he can get himself the Arbiter. So he's basically said, can I do spiders 19 and then get an auto team running for 20? So that is the challenge of the day. Okay, so let's have a quick look around the account. We have got a pretty well developed Great Hall, that's nice. Concentrating on accuracy, some move on attack. Maybe that's something to do with a campaign farmer, but feels like I guess the emphasis is in the right place. Already got a level 10 here. I wonder if that's to do with the Clanboss team. Let's have a look. So we're looking at Clanboss and we are looking at the Spider. So Clanboss here, we're on Ultra Nightmare, hitting for 18 million. And one of the challenges is, please can we get this speed tuned in the right way? So I've actually got a really good setup here. It's almost identical to my setup, except I use Bad L instead of Steel Skull. So we've got Ultan, Razin, so we've got decreased defense on Ultan and increased defense on our team. We've got decrease attack and increased defense on Ultan. We've got decreased defense and weaken on Razin, poisons and increased defense on Steel Skull. Counter attacker here, and then Vizier doing all his work around extending those debuffs. So really solid setup. Be interesting to see how he's got them geared. Let's see if we get some YouTube luck on the old Nightmare. Chest, no on that one, that's a shocker. Anything better? Not really, that's not too bad. Okay, so let's get into the roster. Right, so we've got some pretty insane champs here. We've got Turvold, who is in lifesteal gear. I guess Turvold's a fantastic Clanboss champion as well. He probably is a little bit off meta because you need so many different things to activate him really well. So you need lots of buffs on your team to activate him, and you pretty much have to build a team around him to make that work. I think the team that's already been selected is probably the best choice rather than going with Turvold. But there's definitely an argument to say if you can get the right kind of setup, then he becomes insanely powerful. I would say kind of at least one, if not two, resurrection champions would be required for that. So he has said that Arbiter is a big focus of his, which is why we are looking at the Spider today. But and I think once you've got Arbiter, it kind of enables someone like a Turvold much better. So I think we've got the right champions in play looking at this. So we just need to check the way they geared. Let's just see what we've got in the vault as well. A few more legendaries in here. Plenty of legendaries on this account. But I don't think we've got anything that's going to kind of change my focus in here. So let's get into it. I'm just going to run through how we've got them geared at the moment. So Ultan is the lead with his decreased attack. We've got a good chunk of defense here, over 5k defense. It's probably even, in fact, a little bit on the high side when you consider the speed we're running at. So 135 speed is way too slow. You need to be at least 171 sort of levels, if not 190s. So got a very similar setup here. Very slow, but very high defense. If we got to these sort of speeds, if we got to the right sort of speeds with the rest of this being the same, it would be an excellent build. So 1, 2, we then had Steel Skull as the poisoner. He's got the right sort of speed, but it's too low in defense. So the opposite. Skull Crusher is at exactly the right speed. Defense is a little bit low. The rest of it's okay. And then we have got Vizier, who is at the right speed, pretty good defense, pretty good accuracy. So this build is actually quite good. So this will be more of a tweak than a complete overhaul on this one. one thing I will say is I also ran a team earlier in the week, which I've not recorded, where I used Miscreated Monster on Clanboss, and he is really good. Really good champion for Clanboss. So he's not going to suit this team because this team's already got an insane comp, but if you are sitting on a Miscreated Monster and you're struggling to find a way to keep the rest of your team alive, this shield here that he does in his A2 is really helpful. This ally protection and heal is very good. So yeah, he's actually a really good support champ, especially if you're using a Skull Crusher and your Skull Crusher is going down quite early. What can happen is Skull Crusher can play his ally protection. Turn 1, he's unkillable, so he survives. Turn 2, he's very killable, and he normally dies. That's where people tend to fall down with Skull Crusher. What Miscreated Monster can do, he can come and take the ally protection off of Skull Crusher on the second hit. So Skull Crusher takes the big hit, then Miscreated Monster steals the ally protection off him, and it means that Skull Crusher gets a chance to revive. So pretty good synergy with these two. Jarek actually does the same sort of thing as well. He's got an ally protection, so you can kind of get a bit of synergy going here with a different sort of setup. That's especially good if you've got somebody who's throwing out poisons for fun, like a Nephro or somebody like that, who can just kind of keep the poisons running all day long. Anyway, let's get into gearing these guys. So I'm going to start with, I tend to start with the counter attacker if they've got one, so that's where I'm going to go. And yeah, let's see how we get on. Right then guys, we are finished with the rework, so let's just go through them one by one. So here's Steel Skull looking fresh. 180 speed, so I've got over the 171 of my counter attacker. We've got 3.4k defense. It's a bit light, I'd like it to be more. 240 accuracy is good. The reason why the defense is a bit light is because I do not have defense boots on. I couldn't quite make it work with the gear we've got, but we're close, and he's probably the only one who is light on defense. But we do have a Vizier, so Vizier, as soon as Steel Skull's done his poisoning, he becomes a utility champion anyway, so his job is kind of done, but I still would prefer him in defense boots. We've then got, so let's go through the counter attacker. Counter attacker is always your slowest at 171. Really healthy amount of defense here, 4.6k. That's pretty much bob on where we want it to be. We've got good HP with it as well, and no accuracy is needed for this champ. So the only way you really improve this build is by getting more crit rate going. We have got actually a bit more scope as well to level, so we could get another 80, 160 defense out of these pieces. So you probably could quite quickly get this champion build into crit rate gloves, the way it's looking here. So we've got defense boots on. Defense boots, again, they could go up another 10% with the right gear. We've got defense chest, and we've got defense gloves, so really good set there. And lifesteal gear. Lifesteal gear is really important on Skull Crusher. We've then got our lead, who is Ultan. So Ultan, again, it's looking pretty healthy. 4.7k defense, 180 speed, so he's above the Skull Crusher. 230 accuracy, which is very good as well. Again, the next kind of improvement here is to start building crits, but this is very solid. And again, we've kind of gone defense percentage, speed on this one. So again, if you've got defense boots and can make that work, then you can switch this into crit rate gloves as the kind of ultimate build. We've then got a Razin. So Razin is 181 speed, 4.3k defense, 235 accuracy. So all really solid stats again. Same sort of scenario here. And then we've got Vizier, who is also chunking up a good 3.8k defense. That's really good on a Vizier. Vizier is hard to get to that sort of level. Very good accuracy, good HP. So again, we managed to get defense boots on this fella. Defense. So the only way you really improve this build is, I guess, getting a 60% defense here. A 6-star here would give us another 40 odd defense. A 6-star here would give us another 40 odd defense. So it becomes kind of min-maxing. Same here again. So you've got about another 200 defense just in moving to 6-star gear. And then obviously looking for better rolls, but you don't get much above 4k defense on a Vizier because its base is too low. So we are looking very good. I think we're just going to jump straight into the Clanboss fight and see how we get on. So we saw before, I think we were on about 18 million. Yeah, we were on one key there, got us to 18 odd million. So let's see what we could push this to. So we've got exactly the same team set up. All I've done is re-geared them. They're actually in the good order. So we've got decrease attack champion as the lead. We've got, you then kind of roll it through. So poisoner. So slot 1's here. Slot 2 is where Razin is. Slot 3 is where Steel Skull is. Slot 4 is where Skull Crusher is. And you always want your debuff extender, if you're running one, to be in slot 5. And the idea here is we get decrease attack, decrease defense and weaken, poisons here, and then Vizier kind of maintains all of those buffs. The lead should be the person that's stunned, and Steel Skull should be able to clean that stun off every time. Actually, I just want to make sure that I've got their speed still right way around quickly. It's really important, this part. Otherwise it'd be a wasted run. So he is at 180. He's actually a bit quicker than I want him to be. He's at 180. Steel Skull is at 180 as well. And he's got 111 base speed. And we've got 102. So actually Steel Skull is going to go before Ultan, which is really important. They're even speeds, but Steel Skull's got a better base speed, which means he'll go before him. So let's get into this. So I'm just going to do the setup and then I'll throw Alter on. Because we're on Ultimate Nightmare, we're speed tuned for Nightmare 171 to 189, which means we cannot do our counter attack until after the first stun. It's really important. I can throw in my big hit here. Don't need to decrease attack on the first wave necessarily. I want to keep increased defense up as often as I can. Everyone else is kind of just chunking A1s. So I'm not going to do counter attack here. I'm just going to go A1. It's really important. So what it means is you lose the first wave worth of damage or counter-attack damage, but it means you're speed tuned for both Nightmare and Ultimate Nightmare Clanboss at the same time. So again, just going to go A1. You see we're going to get the first stun off, and it's actually landed on Steel Skull. Don't know why that is. Maybe he'd lost some health. Didn't see why that is. It might be that his HP is so much lower, maybe. But it's weird. That's weird. It's weird and it's not ideal. So now we can start throwing up counterattacks, and we're now back in sync with where we'd want to be. So for the rest of the fight, I could also here, and I would 100% stay in time with where I want to be, which is great. So that is the benefit of having a speed tune, which is kind of these speeds, which is 171 to 189. It means you can run both instances of Clanboss if your clan is kind of trying to do both at the same time, and you stay at the right sort of levels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this through and I'll just give you a view on how we finish up. So it's really important to say we're kind of 8 minutes in. Vizier has done his job. The way I've got Vizier built is that he will basically drop earliest, followed by Steel Skull. Why that's important is because Skull Crusher cannot take the ally protection of the whole team when you get past this sort of level of the fight. So I actually need for people to start dying to enable Skull Crusher to be able to stay alive for longer into the fight. So it's possible he's going to die now, yeah, but he's lasted an extra couple of turns and kept that kind of counter-attack going for a couple of extra turns because Vizier had died a couple of turns earlier. It's really important. So now Steel Skull's going to go down. I would have preferred for Steel Skull to have gone down maybe a turn earlier and given me perhaps an extra turn worth of Skull Crusher in his counterattacks. So all we're really doing now is we're just kind of playing out for as long as we can into this fight and trying to let these poisons tick for a little bit longer each time. There's probably the end here. Oh, no, he's still going. Come on, Ultan. Ultan's a beast. Ultan's hit beast mode, which means we've got an extra few turns of this poison ticking, which is another couple of million damage. So we've hit a 26 million key. So that means we're on 3 key territory for Ultimate Nightmare, which is great. It's exactly where we should be for this sort of lineup, exactly where we want to be hitting. So that is really good. I just want to just double check something on masteries, and then I think that team is done and dusted. So there's still some improvements that can be made. Just wanted to check something on Steel Skulls. Yeah, so this is good. this is good, but when you've got Vizier, you can actually take Defense Tree. See if it's free. It's not free. I did say I should do stuff anyway. I think I'm going to do it anyway. So what you actually want, when you've got Vizier in your team, you do not need the lasting gifts and the additional heal stuff, because Vizier extends so well. So actually what you do is you take this tree and you just gain yourself more defense and more survivability. It's really important. Vizier is a bit of a game changer in any team composition because it enables you to do things you shouldn't normally be able to do. Let's see if there's anything else I want here. A bit more healing. Yes, please. Chance to counter attack when somebody gets stunned. Yes, please. And a bit of healing when you're low health. Don't need this one. We'll take this one. It's not very relevant. The others aren't really relevant, so we'll just take one that might help us somewhere else. So that's his. I just want to check others as well. So Skull Crusher is on the right ones. That's right. I knew that. Ultan is on the right ones. Razin, see, Razin's got the same sort of thing here. So you actually, this is all right. You'd prefer him to go in this kind of defense tree, but I'm not going to change it for the sake of his gems because actually he's not too bad. So cool, that is the clan boss done. Now we're going to get on and try and sort out the spider problem. Right, so we've got some great champions here. In terms of spider, what we want to do is try and get a team together that will get us through 19 first and then 20. I mean, if anyone's seen my spider video, there's a really great way of trying to nuke down the spider, and that is using a freeze champion alongside a HP burn champion, which we've got two of here, two of the best ones actually. So what I'm going to do is just see how they're geared and get them to a place where they can deal with spider. So one of the main things to look for is, you know, we have to be having some sort of defense or resistance type gear. Crit rate is not what we need for these champions that are going to be dishing out spider damage. So and if you look at the resistance level, it just doesn't make sense to have a resistant chest here. Actually is good. An attack here is not what we want either. So we want defensive amulets, defensive rings to really enable us to deal with things like spider, anything endgame really. Unless you've got a complete nuke champion, your aim is to go way more defensive. So I'm going to re-gear Shiramani, I'm going to re-gear Trunda, and then I'm going to build some support around her. So some speed, some healing, and some of those champions we've probably already geared in Clanboss. But yeah, I'll start working on the spider team now. Okay, so what I've done is build up a few champions here which are really helpful for spider. So we've got Miscreated Monster, we've done crazy HP, over 70k, good accuracy to land his stuns. We have got Trunda, who I've changed from a massively kind of DPS focus to more of a kind of someone who's just going to land those stuns. Accuracy banners come on. We've got speed gear, we've got some HP going on, so hopefully she'll stay alive. We've got Shiramani now, who is all about accuracy, speed and survivability rather than offense. So that's 1, 2, 3. We've already got Razin, who can do our turn down built for Clanboss. So I think he'd probably be good for 19 at least. And we've already got Steel Skull built up for Clanboss again, who will be helpful for 19. And we've got a couple of Cold Hearts here, one of which is built very well. Well, we've got kind of two different things going on. So we've got one, good crit rate, good crit damage, bad accuracy. And we've got the other one, poorer crit rate, poorer crit damage, but good accuracy. So I'm guessing we've got an accuracy banner here. Maybe we haven't got one on the other Cold Heart. Not as good anyway. So we need to just kind of balance those off a bit to make sure that we end up with, yeah, kind of good, a single balanced Cold Heart is what we want. We don't want two kind of average ones. We want a single balanced one. So here we go, we've got an accuracy chest on, which means she's super squishy and we'll just die very quick. So is she. Actually, I'm going to do a bit of work on this Cold Heart and then I'll be ready to go. Okay, so I've messed around with Cold Heart and we've now got one that's got pretty decent accuracy, good crit rate, good crit damage, and load more HP. So I'm hoping she's going to survive. Let's just get into this spider. So this is the setup. I guess it's just trying to one-shot this spider and is failing with it. So what we're going to do is go back to more sort of traditional setup. It's a bit slower, but all we want to do is manual this down, and then we can kind of get on with 20. So let's go by rank. So Trunda needs to be in. She brings attack. I don't necessarily want attack. I'm just seeing what other auras I'm going to have. So we've got Trunda, we've got Shiramani. What's she do? She's Faction Crips. We've got Razin. This is free of the setup. We're going to have Miscreated Monster, and we're going to have our Cold Hearts as our first attempt. We could bring Apothecary in to bring us more speed, which could be quite cool as well. But I think this is probably our best set. So let's just see if Razin's aura helps us. No. Don't think any of these auras actually help us. No. So none of the auras help. Doesn't matter. We're just going to go with it anyway. So we've got 2 people that can reduce turn meter. We've got an AoE freeze, we've got AoE HP burn. We've got a lot of shielding coming from this guy. 2 of the people here are negative affinity, which could be tough, which is why we're going to go manual and kind of see how we get on. So we're hoping that we get some stuns off from Miscreated Monster and some Mammoth Shields. We've got 1 stun, it's not ideal. We then go in with the stun and HP burn from Trunda. Again, it's negative affinity, it's not ideal, but we did get off what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I then want to freeze all of the enemies. You see we've got massive freeze there, and then for Razin I'm going to go with the decreased defense and weaken on the boss, which sets me up nicely for a big old chunky Cold Heart. Heartseeker, nice 1.2 million hit, and then we're just kind of going on the boss. See, every time the spiderlings try and move, the boss takes damage. Someone did say to me that Trunda does not work on this boss because the boss doesn't have HP burn on. That does not matter. You just have to have HP burn on the little spiders. It still works. So you see it there. You just saw the amount of damage the spider took. That's definitely working. And then what's this one do? Attacks 1 enemy. Yep. So we're going to go. Actually, all we want to do, we want to keep these spiderlings that have got HP burn on alive and well. But we just want to go damage on the boss here. Same thing again. Damage on the boss. I don't want these little spiderlings to die yet. I'm going to try and reduce turn meter again. Got it off. That's brilliant. A1 on the boss, reduce turn meter. Actually, Mastery's not set up right. But reduce turn meter on him, that's good. A1 again, so we're just trying to chunking the boss down as much as we can. Keeping the spiderlings from moving too much. That's the main aim here. Soon we're going to start taking some damage from them. Do I want to go AoE? I think I do. Just to try and get some damage, some health off them. They're going to go for Trunda because she's the weakest. We just need this guy to bring the shields. Hopefully some stuns, but negative affinity is not really helping us there. Just keeping that damage up, which is nice. I'm going to go heals on him, her, it, and just keep the damage going. We're going to get 1 sort of reset in a second. It's a shame we've nearly got a Heartseeker back. We're not quite there. We could just done with a little bit more turn meter reduction, but we're still good. So here, because I know that this is coming back really soon, I'm going to try and nuke some of them. So I'm going to hit the boss, and then the rest of them are going to take some damage. Killed some of them. Meant that we've only got a kind of half health revive. And we could do a freeze here. There's probably not enough spiderlings, so I'm going to go A1 first. Save that for the next turn. We're getting there, so half healthed it. We know that we've got the Heartseeker coming back really soon. Let's do Allied Protection. I'm going to see if I can keep this Trunda alive. It might be too late. Heartseeker on the main boss. Good old chunk of damage. She does stay alive. That's really good. So now we can try and do our HP burn again. And we landed, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get the freeze off now. Which lands pretty much everywhere. And we should be home dry now. So as soon as those spiders start moving, we should be good. We're going to get the stuns off wherever we can as well. And then it's just damage on the boss. So pretty much the couple of HP burns we've got in the mix is probably enough to kill this main spider. Even without kind of more damage going on. But we don't obviously do hits as well. So yeah, this has been pretty successful. That is 19 done. So what we need now is a team that can auto 20. And then we will be home dry. So that's my next challenge. Okay, so we're going to try and run this for Spider 20. We've got speed, defense lead. We've got speed here in Apothecary. We have got shielding and support from Big Fat Miscreated Monster. We've got turn meter control in the Cold Heart. We've got healing and cleansing from Steel Skull, and then we've got the HP burn going on from Trunder. So the idea here is all of the damage comes from HP burn, and the rest of the team are there to control spiderlings and keep everybody alive. So it's probably not the fastest it's not going to be like the speedy run that you're going to see from some people. That's not the aim here. The aim is to have a foolproof kind of Spider 20 run. We should get a reduced turn meter there. That's good. We've got a lot of damage going on already. Spiderlings are kind of taking a big old pounding from the HP burn that's on. And then the idea is we just kind of recycle abilities. So we won't get it on the first turn. It'll probably be the second turn of turn meter that we kind of actually take the boss out. But saying that, we've done a lot of damage early. This is good. We've done a lot of early damage here. So half health to the boss already. Everyone's still pretty healthy with good shields. And we're just waiting now on that recycle of the HP burn and the Heartseeker. All the while, everyone else is just kind of laying into the boss. So everyone's got masteries here which are built around Giant Slayer or War Master. Got the HP burns back on. And there's the Heartseeker, so reduced turn meter again. It feels like this is going to be, I think, pretty clean. We've got a few HP burns going off with stuns. That's great. We're not going to get it's not going to get the health reset yet. It's got another full turn meter to go before that happens. And because of that, I feel like we're in a really good shape here. We've still got 1, 2, 3 ticking HP burns. Got the cleanses coming in from Steel Skull. It's really good in this. Apothecary is really good in this. Just because he's rare doesn't matter. He's excellent for this fight. And yeah, I mean, it feels like we've not really been under threat of dying. Got a bit more healing coming in there. Here comes the big shields, and there's the nuke. Under 2 minutes, full auto, and that is going to be a consistent full auto run there. So I'm happy with that. That is Spider 20 on auto, on farm, ready for a fresh Arbiter. So yeah, what have we done? We've moved a kind of average hit on Ultimate Nightmare from 14 to 18 million up to more like 26. And we have cleared 19 on manual, and then we've got an auto farm comp going for Spider 20. This is Hell Hades, signing out.